idiot.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. Any news about my operation?
All I wanted was to go back to work, to take care of my children.
Good evening, Dr. Ackroyd.
You're the last person that I want to see right now, Dr. Reed.
I see that you are as friendly as ever.
Are you really going to ask me why? That would just be more evidence of your selfishness.
How do you think these recent events will affect the Pembroke Hospital?
I am not blind. There is something strange about you and Dr. Swansea. One day you'll have to provide answers.
Don't you think the epidemic is enough to deal with, without wasting time on insults and suspicions?
Yes, the epidemic. Convenient, isn't it? Just like the war, really. Hundreds are already dying, so who cares about one more?
You are troubled by the death of your patient. I understand. It is something that haunts everybody in our profession.
Harvey Fiddick died inside these walls, under our watch. We failed him, all of us.
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverley?
Who cares? How could I ask for a promotion after we let a patient be killed? That would be disgraceful.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
Have you seen any suspicious activity in the vicinity, Dr. Reed?
No more than usual.
This is no laughing matter, Dr. Reed. A patient of mine has been murdered. Mr. Fiddick is dead. I should have been more cautious.
Why are you blaming yourself for the death of Mr. Fiddick?
It is our fault. Mr. Fiddick has stayed longer than needed here because Dr. Ackroyd and I could not agree on the correct treatment.
This argument has nothing to do with his death. He was murdered.
But if we had performed the surgery sooner, he would have left the hospital and avoided this fate.
What is troubling you so much, Dr. Strickland? Is there something else?
I had to meet face to face with the son and daughter of Mr. Fiddick this afternoon. Their eyes. I could barely stand before their accusing gaze.
This difficult task is part of our job, Dr. Strickland. It's our responsibility.
I know. As I also know they'll never get the answer to the question they daren't ask. They were the embodiment of cold fatalism.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed. I can't die. Not now. Pembroke needs me. All those poor people.
Good evening, Mr. Fiddick. How are you tonight?
Look closer and ask me that question again, you fucking idiot.
Please calm down and tell me what happened.
I lost my fucking arm because of this hospital, that's what happened.
What happened during the surgery?
That's what I'd like to know. Dr. Strickland couldn't even explain why I lost my arm after weeks of waiting for the right procedure.
Surgery is a delicate matter, but a surgeon is entirely responsible for its success and failure.
At last, someone who admits it. Thank you, Dr. Reed. It won't give me my life back, but I needed to hear it.
How long do you think you will stay here, Mr. Fiddick?
How the hell should I know? Some doctor wants me to have more rest. What bloody difference does it make now?
You need to rest, Mr. Fiddick. That's the best medicine now.
And who will take care of my boy and girl? Strickland? You? They only have me, you know. And they're not old enough to work yet.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
If only you were still here, Helen. At least now we have hope.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
Dr. Reed, it's a disaster, a living nightmare.
Yes. Dr. Ackroyd will be missed.
Actually, I was thinking of Mr. Fiddick. I performed the surgery after Dr. Ackroyd departed, and I failed. He has lost his arm.
Did you use an untested procedure on Mr. Fiddick? I want the truth, Thoreau.
Your transfusion technique was misplaced. It exhausted the body of poor Mr. Fiddick instead of helping him rejuvenate.
Do you think the loss of his arm could have been prevented?
I should have read the signs and stopped the transfusion. The truth is, my idea was flawed, but I was stubborn. I failed the hospital.
How is he coping with the loss of his arm?
I can't even talk with him. He's so angry, so bitter. And he has good reason to hate me.
You can't just run away from your responsibilities.
I know. It's just that I was so concerned about Mr. Fiddick's story. About his feelings of guilt about his injury.
You don't seem very concerned by the death of your colleague.
I would be a liar if I said I'm affected by Dr. Ackroyd's death.
Why such resentment?
Waverley Ackroyd openly doubted my professional skill. It makes me angry to admit he was right.
I want to know your feelings about the report Dr. Tippett's filed about you.
It affected me deeply. I came to believe that was one of the reasons I grew so intransigent regarding Mr. Fiddick's case. I wanted so much to prove my skill.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
No. I could have been a great surgeon. The greatest.
Good evening, Dr. Ackroyd. I have learned of the unfortunate fate of our colleague.
So, you already know. We're collecting money for his family. To have a proper burial in the current climate is a challenge.
I am surprised about your reaction to Dr. Strickland's death, considering your disagreement with him.
Strickland was young and idealistic, but he had a lifetime to become a great practitioner. He was just lacking insight, and we'll miss him.
You have a heart, Dr. Ackroyd. My God, this is a true medical discovery.
Only you can joke at such a time, Dr. Reed. Maybe that's your most useful skill.
The death of Dr. Strickland also means the end of his research on the Spanish flu.
It's a good thing, I suppose. Unlike others, I would never have reported him.
You liked him. Admit it.
I'll admit nothing. Strickland was taking too many risks at a critical time. That's not medicine. That's gambling. Gambling with people's lives.
What do you think of Dr. Tippett's opinion of your promotion, Waverley?
I'll admit I feel uneasy obtaining a position due to my rival's death. It's not something that really sits well with me.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. Good evening, Mr. Fiddick.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Dr. Reed. Can I help you?
It seems your surgery was a success.
Yes, it was. I'm working here now, fixing what can be fixed. Paying off me debt the only way I know.
I'm glad your procedure was a success, Mr. Fiddick. That's good news in these difficult times.
Dr. Ackroyd may seem distant and cold, but he's good at his job, and that's all I needed. God bless him.
Dedication does not always generate passion.
Not only did he save my arm, he saved my life. There's many that wouldn't survive without this hospital.
I think it's too soon for you to go back to work. You should rest a little more.
Oh, I'm fine. And with this flu and all, no one else has the time to help repair the hospital. I'm glad I can help, Dr. Reed.
And what about your family?
My children visited this morning. I explained to them that Dad had to stay a little bit longer to repay the good doctors here.
How are your children?
It's been a long time since I saw them smile. With their mother dead, I'm their only family. They were worried sick with me here.
So, you're happy to work here?
It's the least I can do, really. I'm a good chippy, you know. And it's much safer than my previous job.
Really? Is it safer to work in a hospital during an epidemic?
The epidemic is not the only threat we face. My wife died during a German bombing raid.
Tell me, Harvey, are your children relieved now that you feel better?
I believe so. There was so much joy in my daughter's eyes when she saw me move my arm again. I guess I never realized how worried she was about me.
How our loved ones feel about us means a lot, doesn't it?
Family's everything, Dr. Reed. They're the only reason we get up in the morning. Couldn't put up with this life without them.
Are you still blaming yourself for your injury?
No. I know I took a chance and I got careless. But everything's good. I promise my boy will be all right.
I don't think I saw your children in the Pembroke Hospital.
They're still young, Dr. Reed. They never go out at night, and you're never here during the day.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.